When Graham and I first started the journey of looking at this business, what we saw immediately was the alignment in terms of the way they act towards their customers, the way they act towards their people, the way they deliver in the marketplace, and the quality bar they hold everyone to. Because this is something that is truly differential about our proposition to our clients. But what underpins all of this is their ability to be entrepreneurial, or to think like entrepreneurs. And as you all know, this is the cornerstone of our value proposition in the marketplace, is to give our partners and employees, candidly, the opportunity to be owners of our business, and we believe that makes people turn up in a different way.
My name's Tim Romberger. I am a managing director and founder of TRC Advisory. I've been a consultant for 31 years. TRC Advisory, when I started it in 2014, the objective really was to create a credible alternative to the big brands. Some of the core areas that we tend to focus on, one of the legacy strengths of ours was in growth strategy. We took what some could consider, the concept of 30,000-foot enterprise strategy and brought it down to driving towards really specific growth playbooks with our clients, things that were clear imperatives for what the client had to do differently going forward to grow and to drive value. We really built on that over the course of our own growth and development to expand into areas like commercial effectiveness and pricing. A lot of that was a natural extension of what we did on strategy. Once we had defined a strategy with an organization, the natural next question was really how do we activate that through changes in our commercial model, in our selling model, in our sales incentives, and how we segment the market, ultimately in terms of how we allocate our resources. Pricing, how do we actually not just set better prices, but ultimately change the underlying DNA of how an organization does pricing to drive not just the right outcomes in terms of margins, but also the right outcomes in terms of what they're seeking in growth in their markets. And then resource productivity has been an area that we've been increasingly focused on of late as clients of ours face challenges in terms of growth in their markets. They need to fundamentally rethink, do we have resources deployed behind the right parts of the portfolio and behind the right functions and aspects and activities that they conduct in a way that really delivers the highest return on those resources?
I think it's such a powerful proposition having Elixirr and TRC together. If you look at TRC's strategy, pricing, commercial effectiveness, and you combine that with Elixirr's data, tech, AI, cultural transformation, insights and research. Really what their playbook is that they leave behind clients is our project brief to then pick up and then take further and deeper into our combined client set. And I think there's such a huge opportunity for us to add more and more value to our clients. Our diversity that we look at when we look at acquisitions is around capability, industry and geography, and TRC have massive ticks against all three. The strategy side of things from a capability point of view. From a geography point of view, it's US. They're a 5th acquisition in the US. It's the world's biggest consulting market. And from an industry perspective, manufacturing and industrials, and also private equity, which is a big opportunity for us. One key part of due diligence that you may have heard me talk about before is making sure that we talk to the clients of a prospective target that we're looking to acquire. TRC was no different. We've interviewed nearly 30 of their clients, and what I love about this acquisition is the fact that the feedback was the best we've ever had. When you look across quality of the senior team, the junior team, scoping, pricing, return on investments, all these different areas, they are streets ahead of their competition. And the competition, as defined by their client set, is MBB. In fact, a few of them called them a mini Bain, which we quite like bringing into Elixirr.
As a team at TRC, we've been really blessed over the last few years to have such a strong client base and supportive network that has allowed us to really grow our business well above our own expectations in terms of not just the top line and the revenue, but also our team that's supporting the work that we're doing with clients. But my leadership team and I, as we sat and we considered that trajectory, and we asked ourselves, what does TRC 2.0 look like, and what's the best path to getting there? That's ultimately when Elixirr evolved as an opportunity. And it became very evident to me in early conversations with both Graham and Steve that there was a really strong strategic and cultural fit that existed. Two very different yet complementary sets of capabilities that would allow us both to ultimately grow our own collective enterprises faster than we might be able to do on our own, but also clearly a group of people who shared an ambition to be that disruptive force in the market, to ultimately deliver on what we at TRC started out with initially in terms of that idea of creating a very credible alternative to the big brands. And my belief is that together we can ultimately be successful with that and really continue to grow and succeed with two organizations that were already on a really strong path.
Honestly, we're not going to change our strategy. It's working. We're looking for capability additives, we're looking for geography, we're looking for industries. TRC is fantastic. It ticks all of those boxes. And we have a really strong pipeline going forward, and we're looking forward to seeing where that takes us.